Good evening and happy holidays, everyone. This is my little Saturday edition. While I'm sitting here in the kitchen cooking, not cooking much, just Sunday dinner. I always have Sunday dinner, so I'm getting prepared for my Sunday's dinner, and I want to come on and talk to you all about some things that I'm noticing in the news on Shooter Saturday. So y'all know this is Saturday. So you know we're going to talk about some shootings, right? So y'all better get ready for this because I want to give you guys a different perspective on some things and how to start to shift your thinking. And like I said before, I'm going to keep on telling you guys how to increase your awareness so that you could be safe because it is not safe out in the streets. We are living in lawless America and things are getting absolutely crazy. So I want to give you guys some stories that we're going to talk about today. First and foremost, I'm sorry I missed Mental Health Fridays yesterday. I was going to come on yesterday to do Mental Health Friday, and I just got overwhelmed with all the crap that's out there, all the crazy behind stories that's out there. So, what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to combine them. I'm going to combine them. So we're going to talk about the woman in Walmart that held a Walmart employee hostage. Y'all heard about that? She held a Walmart employee hostage. The woman's name was Corlinda McGinnister. She was shot and killed by the police after she would not let the lady go. We're going to talk about that. We're going to speak about, unfortunately, an unfortunate death of Shadayla Johnson. Johnson is a 23-year-old out of Florida who I don't know, in my opinion, how she could have avoided what happened to her. I've been racking my brain about it, trying to better understand what could have been done. What can I tell you guys about what we can do? But in this kind of situation, I don't know. So we're going to have a dialogue about that. Maybe you guys might see some things that could have been done, but I really don't know. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the shooting that happened at Mall of America. So y'all do know Mall of America is a really big mall, and it's in Minnesota. I think it's in Minnesota if I'm not mistaken. Y'all gotta let me know. But a lot of tourists go to this mall a lot, and it was a shooting in Nordstrom. Then we're going to talk about the MTA worker in New York City who shot and killed a 39-year-old, right? We're going to talk about that conversation as well. And we're going to wrap this all up tonight by me have you guys think about something. The lawlessness that is occurring is out of control. And I'm only talking to my community. It is out of control. But I want you all to pay attention to what's going to happen. Now, y'all know how I get down. When I tell you something's going to happen and then it does happen, some of y'all get mad when I tell you what's about to happen. And then when it does happen, y'all say, oh, Dr. Shonna said that. History repeats itself. And you just know your history, and if you pay attention to things and you track things, you know what's about to come down the pipe. So y'all all better get ready. We're going to talk about all of that. In the meantime, in between time, I want you all to go ahead and share the video. Share the video. If you're on YouTube, share the video, subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. Most importantly, engage in the chat. If you are on Facebook, share the video, like and follow the page, and engage in the chat. I have a question that had came across my um okay, so it says here, for some reason I felt the need to make sure I was strapped when I did my last minute shopping today. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's happening. No one is safe in these streets. Somebody says, are you going to cover one here in New Orleans yesterday at the grocery store? 504 Empress, you got to let me know what happened in New Orleans. So y'all know I was out of town and I just left New Orleans. I just got back on Monday. I got back home from New Orleans. I had a great time in New Orleans, and there was a lot of stories in New Orleans. I'm trying to gather all the information on New Orleans to be able to share with you guys. But New Orleans, what are y'all doing? What's happening? What is going on in New Orleans? But that's another conversation we're gonna have. Let's get going. First story, y'all. We ain't gonna waste any time. Let's talk about the Walmart employee, the Walmart woman. Now, if y'all have not already saw it, I want you guys to go and look at it on your own. I can't share it. I would love to share the story out of Mississippi in Walmart, but I got a copyright claim on YouTube for sharing things with you guys, and apparently I'm not allowed to do that. So I'm not going to share anything with you all. But I'm going to read from the papers what they're talking about in Mississippi, and then I'm going to give you guys some feedback on that. So this is out of Richland, Mississippi. It says police in Mississippi shot and killed a woman who was holding another person hostage at a Walmart store as she said she needed help and demanded to speak to a news anchor. Yes, y'all, a news anchor. A new like she was watching straight up John Q. She held this lady hostage and she wanted them to get a news anchor up in the building. She said she needed help and she wants them to go get the news. The Mississippi Department of Public Safety said in a news release that the shooting happened Wednesday evening in the Jackson suburb of Richland. The person killed was Carlunda McGinnister, 21 years old, of West Helena, Arkansas. What I learned about this woman is she was recently enrolled in school in Arkansas to get her degree. Now I'm still trying to see what's going on with her, to see a little bit more about who she is. But here's what I'm going to say to y'all, and then we're going to move on to the other story. We ain't going to waste too much time on this story. It ain't safe in these streets. How the story goes is this woman went to customer service. She got in an argument with the woman she was holding hostage. She pulled out a gun. She put it to the lady's head. They called 911. The cops arrived on the scene. She still got the gun to the lady's head. It's a sister, y'all. You know I'm only reporting on stories from the sister. Got the gun to the lady's head. She's demanded to see a news anchor, to get a news anchor up in the store. She said she need help. You can hear the officers trying to reason with her to let the lady go. She told the officers that she ain't nobody going to get hurt. She ain't trying to hurt nobody. You just can't do stuff like that, beloved. You just cannot do stuff like that, beloved. See, I don't know what's going on with some people besides mental health. Somebody says the vaccine. I don't know. But what I'm going to tell you this. I don't know what's going on with people. How do you go into a Walmart, pull out a gun when you get in an argument with somebody? See, I tell y'all all the time, family, stop arguing with people because people are not normal in these streets nowadays. See, everyone thinks that they're tougher and better than the next person, especially if the person doesn't look like they weigh more than $110, and their hair is disheveled, and they just look. People just are ignoring people, and they're always thinking that somebody is not going to do something until you the one that have a gun to your head. I keep trying to tell you out in these streets, when you go outside, you have to really keep your head on a swivel, and you have to assume that everybody, I know y'all like to hear this word, and I don't mean no disrespect, so I'm gonna put a disclaimer on it. I don't mean no disrespect, but we have a real conversation, because this channel, we have real conversations, and we have conversation with language that this community can understand. So if anybody's gonna feel some kind of way, just click off. No need to report a channel. No need to get all up in your bag. If you feel some kind of way, just go somewhere. You don't have to be here. But we're going to use real language. We're going to use relatable language. There's a lot of crazy people out here. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. There's a lot of crazy people out here. Some of us, we're waking up. We're going to the store. We're going to the mall. We're going to church. We're going to the park, and we're arguing with people. We're going back and forth with people. We're measuring who got the biggest balls in comparison to somebody else. We are out here in these streets acting like we are crazier than the next person, and it's going to be the person you least expected that's going to put a gun to your head. I'm just trying to tell y'all. People watching too many movies. People are watching too many things on social media. People are out here making up stuff in their heads that don't exist. I'm trying to tell y'all the truth. I'm trying to tell y'all the truth. Somebody said what's even worse is people are trying to justify this stuff. And you absolutely right. You don't go into a Walmart, pull out a gun, put it to somebody's head, demand for a news anchor to come on a scene because you need help and expect not to get killed. And then when you get killed, the community want to get mad. The community want to go get crazy. The community says that they're going to close down the police departments. The community is going to do all types of things until you're the one that got a gun to your goddamn head and now you're looking for help. I know some people don't want to hear that. I know some people don't want to hear that, but we got to have real See, the problem is, in my opinion, as we're about to move on to another story, in my opinion, people don't want to hear the truth about things. People don't want to have honest conversations anymore. Everybody wants to be politically correct. Everybody wants to be peachy cream, and we're not really addressing what is happening. We've seen this all before. We've seen it all before, and I'm going to tell you at the end of this video what's about to come. Because too many of us are asleep. Listen, the other day I was watching some video on YouTube, of course, YouTube, right? And I'm seeing some of us, you know how some of us get, and I understand. Like I had to get out of that world, right? I'm gonna tell you what world I'm talking about because some of y'all gonna be able to relate. Some people are so stuck in this world. They stay in like this 1900, 1500, 1400, 1800 way of thinking. And they want to go over all the things of the past. And this is not bad. I'm not telling y'all it's bad, but they want to be so solid on the issues and the research and the history and who we are as a people. They want to be so solid on the past, which is cool. We need to know our history, but what are we doing in the present day? What are we doing in the present day? How is knowing everything that you know historically helping us today? See, I think a lot of us are ignoring what's happening to our people. A lot of us are ignoring because we like to think in our head that this is not us, this is them, but they are us and we are them. Nobody is disconnected from the next person. So while we're saying you got to know your history, you got to know it, we know that. I agree with you. We have an issue right now, today. What are we going to do about it? Right? Somebody said folks too busy trying to go back to Africa, right? What are we going to do about it today, right now? You have a sister that done went into Walmart, watched too many movies, put a gun to somebody's head. She's only 21 years old. Now, I don't doubt that this woman was obviously going through something. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that this woman really needed help. She probably did, but that's not the way to go about getting help. Maybe in movies they show it that way, and maybe some people in movies get help, but in real life you don't do things like that. So what I am asking is how are we going to help our brothers and sisters that are behaving that way, that are experiencing trauma the way they're experiencing, and they're acting out by putting other people at risk of harm? Like, are we even prepared to deal with this? I'm talking to y'all, family. I'm talking to y'all. Are y'all really even prepared to deal with what we are seeing? Or are we all going to just ignore this? Are we all going to just, constantly mad at everything, and we're not even paying attention to our aunties, our cousins, our nephews, our neighbors, our classmates, our friends, our family? We're not paying attention to anybody else that's like losing their mind. Am I the only one that's paying attention to how many people are actually losing their mind? And I'm sitting back here and I'm saying to myself, we have a lot of great ideas as a community. What are we going to do to help the people in our community who are losing their minds? And they are pulling out guns and they are killing each other. They're killing mothers, they're killing fathers, they're killing senior citizens, they're killing 12 years old, they're killing 18. What are we going to do? I'm asking a real serious question. Because we have a lot of people that would say it's time for us to police our own community, take care of our own community. And I agree with you all 1000%. I believe that we have to take care of our own community. I believe we have to police our own community, but our community is terrorizing a lot of us and others. What are we going to do about that? I don't know about y'all, right? Somebody said, hell, what can we do? Good question. Good question, Ariel. I don't know about y'all. And I ain't going to lie to y'all. Man, when I go into any store, if I was on alert before, I'm on alert now. I don't care if somebody look weird to me. I'm done. I'm gone. I'm gone. When I see these young, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Some of y'all ain't gonna like what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm not afraid of being honest. See, some of y'all don't want to be honest. Some of y'all want to act like peace, love, and hair grease. We all doing well. Kumbaya. Some of y'all want to act. I'm not pretending to be that. I'm not. I'm not. Because when I'm outside and I see the youth of our community acting up, I don't know about y'all, but it's starting to make me nervous. I'm just being honest. Maybe I'm the only one. I'm okay being the only one, but it really is starting to make me nervous because there's a total disregard for life. And it's scary. It's scary. So maybe for some of you guys, y'all don't pay attention to it, and maybe for some of y'all, you're okay. I'm not. So we're gonna address this right here. So the 2D team, we're going on to the next story after him, says, it's the right wing who is putting the guns in the city and the police pushing the not grows to commit violence. So they can have a talking point about high crimes. It's easy to get them to do that. Okay. Now, I'm not in disagreement with some of the things that you're saying. I'm totally not. But let's have this conversation. Let me leave your comment up there for a little bit. Let's have this conversation before I go on to the next story. What are you going to do about it? Because at the end of the day, they're still your kids. They're still your nephews. They're still your cousins. They're still your aunties, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters. Hell, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? See, this is what I mean. And I have to pull it up. Now, I don't know this person. What are you going to do about it? Because when you make statements like this, it's basically saying that we're puppets. We can't think for ourselves. We have a battery in our back. And we just do what other people want us to do because we can't make conscious decisions to say, nah, I'm good. To say, you can't bring that shit in my hood. To say, I'm not going to put a bullet in her head, her belly, his back, his eye. What are you going to do about it? We already know that this kind of stuff happens. So what are you doing to teach your children, your nephew, your cousin, your uncle, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your friend? What are you doing to teach them to have enough willpower? Or in my world, we'll say locus of control. But I'm going to say willpower. That sounds easier, right? What are you going to do to teach them to have enough willpower to not kill somebody? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And that's what I'm talking about. When I say some people, not all, some people, they just want to say these things and then there's nothing else attached to it. There's nothing else attached to it. Oh, they're doing X, Y, and Z. Okay, that's true. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You just going to let it happen? Are you going to wait till a bullet hits your child's head to do something? You're going to wait till your daughter is murdered in your driveway before you do something? So I'm waiting. If you want to come on and talk to me, I can bring you on here. I can bring you on the camera. You can have a conversation with me. But that's not going to work here. Just saying that and not taking accountability is not going to work here. Because we already know America's history of lawlessness. This ain't new. America's heritage is attached to lawlessness. We already know is there. So we saying that to say what? Let's go on to the second story. This is out of Melbourne, Florida. Did y'all hear about the story with Shadayla Johnson? She's a 23-year-old woman, Shadayla Johnson. And I'm talking about these stories because I told y'all I'm going to keep doing it because I'm talking to the people, including myself, right? Who these are our children. These are our nieces, our nephews, our cousins, our brothers, our sisters, our classmates, our neighbors, our friends. This is who these people are. So I'm going to keep talking to us because we have to talk to them. Shadayla Johnson. Shadayla Johnson, a beautiful, an absolutely beautiful young woman, 23 years old. 23 years old. She was killed in her driveway, family, while her father was in the house. She had just said goodbye to her father as she left her house before 8 o'clock a.m. to go to work when her ex-boyfriend killed her in her driveway. Do y'all hear me? Her ex-boyfriend killed her in her driveway before she even got in her car to go to work. What is this story? The ex-boyfriend of a woman killed in Melbourne shot her 15 times after she would not answer his text messages or respond to his phone calls. Carlos Lamont Jones was arrested Tuesday morning shortly after the woman, Shadayla A. Johnson, was found shot on Colbert Circle. Melbourne police said the woman was shot in the back, suggesting she was shot as she was walking or running away. According to the affidavit, Jones's vehicle was seen leaving the area of the shooting. Hours after the shooting, Jones turned himself into police and gave a full confession. Melbourne police officers interviewed Jones, who said he woke up angry. You hear what I'm saying? This dude, give me a second, y'all, because this is unbelievable. He woke up angry. 7 in the morning, angry at bacon because she said the relationship was over. She was not interested in the relationship. She was not responding to text message. She was not responding to phone calls. And he decided that was it. But what do we teach our daughters? What do we teach our women? What do we teach our sisters, our cousins? We tell them, if you want a man to leave you alone, don't entertain his texts or phone calls. Isn't this what we teach our daughters, our cousins, our sisters, our friends, our nephews, our nieces, our neighbors? This is what we teach them, right? Don't entertain it. Ignore the phone call, ignore the text. Don't contact them. Don't send mixed messages. If it's over, it's over. Isn't this what we teach them? Isn't this what we say? She did just that. She did what we teach our women to do when we say, stop playing games with these guys. If it's over, let it be over. Let your no's be no's and your yes be yes. Isn't this what we say? So how does someone do exactly what we tell them to do? And the man, and y'all say women are emotional. Y'all say women are emotional. That's why I said stop all this gender war stuff. Stop it. Stop it. Because if you want me to give you some research and facts and evidence, I'll let you know that men handle breakups worse than women do, because it's been researched, it's been said, and it's documented all over the place. Even their brains light up in different areas than ours do. Y'all better stop thinking men ain't emotional. He couldn't take a breakup. He couldn't take a rejection. He's 23 years old as well. He couldn't take it. So much so that he woke up angry. So we always talk about how women need their daddies. They got daddy issues. This is what we always say when it comes to Black women. Oh, they got daddy issues. Her daddy was right there in the living room. She said goodbye to her daddy as she was going to work. And a punk dude shot her and killed her 15 times. How angry are you that you unload a whole clip in her back? A whole clip. Do y'all understand what I'm saying to y'all? 15 times. Do y'all really understand what I'm communicating here? As she's trying to walk away or run away. 15 times in her back. Beautiful young Black woman gone. Murdered by a young Black man who could not handle rejection. We talk about women need their daddies. That's what we say in this community when we talk about Black people. Oh, women need their Black women are out of control. Is anyone talking to the Black men? Maybe he needed his daddy, right? Maybe he got daddy issues, right? Maybe he suffered from an attachment injury and he has an insecure attachment style and he's not able to manage his own emotions, obviously, evidently. Who's talking to him? Who's talking to him? Who's letting, listen, brother, chick break up with you, just let her go. Who's saying that to him? Just let her go. A chick break up with you, just let her go. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have heart. You young, you only 23 years old. Women gonna come, women gonna go. You know, don't let nobody pull you off your A game. Keep your head on strong, brother. It's okay. Not everyone's gonna like you. It doesn't mean you're not great. Who's giving him his pep talks? This is what we do all the time. This is what we do all the time. Black killers are raised by single mothers. You see what we do it all the time? I'm not going to get into this gender war with you. I'm not, because you're showing your ignorance. I'm not going to get into this gender war with you. I'm not. because we love the blame game in this community. We love always pointing the finger to someone else. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. Here's another one. Here's another one. Emotionally unstable men are boys who were raised by women. It goes back to me. So we just know this. Out of all the people we had, we just know that there was no father present. Maybe the father was an alcoholic. Maybe the father was a DV batterer and he was in a home. Maybe the father was unemployed. Maybe the father was undereducated. Maybe the father who just was present in the home and wasn't active. Maybe the father was just a bag. Maybe he was just a provider. Maybe the father was emotionally unavailable. This is the stuff I'm talking about. And you wonder why our community is the way it is. We wonder why our communities are the way it is. We wonder why our communities are the way. We are some nasty people to one another, but we want everybody else to be nice to us. I'm going to tell you like it. I'm going to tell it. I'm going to tell y'all like I see it today because I'm tired. We are the nastiest people to one another. And everybody wants to blame and say this, but what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? Some fathers in their homes are terrorists, and they terrorize their children, and they terrorize their wives. And what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Let me go on with this story because it gets better. This story gets better, and I mean this facetiously. I'm not being serious when I say the story gets better. So he said he woke up angry that Johnson had not answered his calls or replied to his text messages. He said he decided to shoot and kill her and went to her home before she was able to leave for work. The woman's father told police the two had broken up 2 weeks prior, and Jones continuously called and texted Johnson to get back together. The woman's father said the two had broken up 2 weeks before, and Jones continuously called and texted Johnson to get back together. So since we like to have gender wars, since we like to say things constantly, so your daughter, since we always want to blame the woman, Mr. Tough guys, we like to blame the woman. Instead of us working together, we want to blame the women. So let's put it on you, fellas. You had knowledge that this dude was calling and texting your daughter multiple times and you ain't fuck him up. Now, not that would have helped, but I'm just saying. I thought according to y'all and how y'all come up with these crazy things, because y'all listen to people who out here with these platforms saying all types of crazy things and y'all believe them. Y'all believe them. But since y'all like to listen to crazy things, I thought based on some of the crazy things that some of y'all say, I thought that if a woman had her father present, the father was there to protect her, and men, boys, whatever, won't take advantage of her, or he won't do certain things because he knows that she has a father, and therefore he won't behave a certain way. Isn't that what you all say? I don't like gender wars. I don't entertain gender wars. I don't do it. Because this story right here is a proven fact that the gender wars do not work in our community. These stupid belief systems that we have do not work in our community. Think about this. Think about what y'all be saying just for a moment. Think about it for a second. And look at this one right here. Moderators, get rid of him. Get rid of. Why are you speaking like that? Act feminine. You see, this is the trash in our community. This is the trash in our community. This is what we deal with in our community. And I always like to expose them because this is the trash in our community. This is the trash. And yes, I'm calling you trash. The insults that we say to each other, we like criticism, we like insults, we like bad language toward each other, we like calling each other names. This is the trash that's in our community, and we want other people to treat us a certain way, but we don't even treat each other with respect. We're so critical of each other. We have a lot of criticism. We have a lot of tropes that we throw around. We have a lot of negative energy. This is what comes to our community constantly. So I got something for this person because I'm going to finish the story. This person right here. No 2 weeks is long enough to go to war over nothing. The dad was taking notes, right? This, you see how they come up with this stuff without knowing the story. Without knowing the story, you see how they come up with this stuff. The dad was taking notes on what to do if it keeps going on. It's not the dad's fault she got killed. Her killed her boyfriend. She got killed. Her boy, I guess, killed by her boyfriend. Is the one she got. Oh, there's no periods. I'm sorry. Give me a second while I try to put the periods into places. Is not the dad's fault she got killed. Period. Her boyfriend is the one to blame. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I'm not blaming the father, but I'm giving you guys all back what you give women. And this is why it has to stop. You see how when it's when the picture is being put on the male, you guys want to think critically and see it a different way. Now, if we know anything about domestic violence, we know the nuttiness doesn't just start out of the clear blue sky, right? It doesn't just start. You see patterns. They only dated for 5 months. So obviously there was patterns that she saw that let her know that being with him is not safe. This young woman did everything that she was supposed to do. Now, I don't know the story about why her and this guy was living with each other. I don't know that story because they were only together for 5 months. But apparently, according to the father, they lived together, but she left him. She left him. So I would say, in my opinion, that this young lady did everything that she was supposed to do. He did everything that she did everything that she was supposed to do. She saw that this guy wasn't right. She left the relationship. She moved back home, and unfortunately, that he couldn't handle it. And he apparently, based on what he told the police officers, that he brought a fully loaded weapon with 18 rounds and had purchased the gun 1 week before the shooting. And the police asked this guy if he was remorseful, and he said no. And he said, if I had to do it again, I would have killed her and her father. I don't know if you caught that. If I had to do it again, I would have killed her and her father. If I had to do it again, I would have killed her and her father. That's what he said. That's what he said. And he has no remorse. So this is one of those stories where I'm saying to you all that I don't know how she would have gotten out of that. I don't know how she would have gotten on it. I don't think that she did anything wrong. I don't think the father did anything wrong. I think that the father is lucky to be alive. And this is why I'm saying to you all that don't assume you know anybody, because you don't. Don't assume you're tougher than someone else, because you're not. Don't assume that you can stop somebody from doing something, because you can't. So many people are caught off guard every day. And no one cares. I'm not going to say no one, but too many other people don't care about the law anymore. They don't care about the law. People are not afraid of going to jail anymore. Hell, you can go and kill somebody nowadays and you'll get released on your own recognizance. You get to go back home. You can eat some lobster. You can have some, you know, rice, jasmine rice with some salmon. You can have some shrimp. You can have wine. You can have alcohol. You can do whatever you want to do until your court day. You can just kill somebody and go home. That's what it seems like nowadays. No one has any respect for the law anymore. This person went into the police department, turned himself in, let them know he bought a gun a week prior. Let them know I don't have any remorse. And if I have to do it all again, I will, the same way. But this time I'll kill a father. Like, who says stuff like that? And I'm trying to tell you all that something is going to be coming down the pipeline. Trust me when I say it. We're about to get into that. Something's going to come down the pipeline, because you cannot keep operating like this and expect nothing to happen. And when the new laws come, if you think it was draconian when COVID hit, if you think they were on some real regime, like some 1940 World War II type of regime when COVID hit, you ain't seen nothing yet. You have not seen anything yet, and it is coming. Do you hear me? It is coming, and it's going to get worse. I promise you that. Let's go on to another story. Mall of America. Mall of America out in Minnesota, I believe it is. Somebody fact check me on that one. I think it's Minnesota. Mall of America is a really popular mall that many people go to. Give me 1 second. I can't have the water on. No, please. Mall of America is a really popular mall that many people go visit. Now in Nordstrom, I'm telling you, nobody's safe. There was a shooting after a fight broke out. And I guess people don't fight anymore like how they used to fight when I was growing up, right? You got in a fight, you use your hands, right? Somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna lose. If you get jumped, you get at least one of them. That was back in the days. But nowadays, anyone can get a gun. Anyone can get a gun. And make no mistake, I'm all for my Second Amendment. Make no mistake. But what I'm saying to you is anybody can get a gun. And no one has to fight anymore. And if somebody loses a fight and their feelings get hurt, they can just go get their gun and they can walk into any public building, Walmart. And when I mean public, I'm not talking about government, right? Meaning like it's not somebody's house. So when I say public building, like the mall is in the public, right? That's what I mean. Private property, but a public building. You understand what I'm trying to say? But you can walk into any building, Walmart, the movie theater, the mall. You can walk anywhere, restaurants, churches, and just shoot people. This is the land that we live in. Shoot people. That's what happened. 5 people were arrested Saturday in connection with the fatal shooting of a 19-year-old the previous night at Minnesota's Mall of America, the largest shopping center in the U.S. The suspects 3 17-year-old males and 2 18-year-old males were arrested after police executed a search warrant on Saturday. Investigators believe the shooter is one of the adults who were arrested. They were trying to determine if another shooter was involved. The suspects were expected to be charged with second-degree murder. We don't know why this happened, and we don't know the why because people flat out are just not cooperating, and people don't want to talk. But we're going to police our own communities, right? Oh, family, I don't know what I'm going to do with any of y'all. We're going to police our own community, right? We're going to police our own community. This is what some of y'all be saying. We're going to police. Listen, we stay by those rules, right? Snitches get stitches. Snitches get stitches. We stay by those rules, right? Nobody wants to talk. There's a 19-year-old baby, because that's what he is. I know you're going to say, oh, he's a 19-year-old man. A 19-year-old don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. They are babies. Babies. There's a 19-year-old baby who was dead before Christmas. And nobody's talking. Because everybody is true to their street culture, right? It said the officers heard gunshots on the first floor of Nordstrom just before 8 p.m. and found a man shot multiple times in the store. On Saturday, Hodges said an officer working at the Watches of Switzerland store saw people come out of Nordstrom, ran into the store, and found the victim. Life-saving measures were performed on the victim but were unsuccessful. A bystander who was grazed by a bullet is expected to survive. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said his office was working with local officials to provide support and resources. Thanks for that. Support and resources. Thank you. The violence at Mall of America last night is absolutely unacceptable. And Governor Tim Walz, what are you going to do about it? The 30-year-old mall, about 10 miles south of downtown Minneapolis, is a popular tourist destination in the Midwest with tens of millions of visitors each year. The giant shopping center complex boasts about 500 stores, more than 50 dining options, dozens of attractions, and 2 hotels. Friday's shooting comes about 5 months after suspects fired gunshots into a crowded store at the mall. The same mall. The same mall. No injuries were reported in the August incident. The same mall. The same mall. A preliminary investigation into Friday's incident indicated there was an altercation between about 5 to 9 people inside Nordstrom. Store surveillance video showed a male pulling out a gun and shooting the victim. We have an incident where if someone decides that they want to pull out a gun and shoot somebody with complete lack of disrespect for human life, I still don't know what we can do to stop that. That's what he said. That's what he said. We don't know what we can do to stop that. Does that make you feel safe? Does that make you feel safe? That they don't know what to do. Let me say, the same mall, because a shooting happened in August, in the same mall, people still walking around shopping, right? You know when they're going to do something about it? When we all stop shopping. When we all say, I'm done. I'm not going to the mall. When they have a financial hit and people are not shopping, they're going to really start strategizing. They're going to really start strategizing. They had set up this pilot program in the same mall on the north end. Now, mind you, this is a huge mall with over 500 stores where people come from all over the world to go to this mall. And they set up in the north end metal detectors. In the north end. So I guess I can come in through the south end with a gun, shoot you, and go home. I'm only giving y'all a little bit of stories. There's a whole bunch of stories like this. A whole bunch of stories. Countless stories. Where people are going into people's work. There's a young lady who worked at Massage Envy. I forgot what state it was in. And she was young, like 19. She got up to go to work, and an ex decided he was going to take her life. He went to her job and shot her at her job. No one cares about terrorizing people anymore. No one cares about getting caught. No one cares about going to jail. It is ridiculous. What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Elon buys Twitter, says, at least it isn't a mass shooting. Is that better? Is that better that it wasn't a mass shooting? I can't. Today, I just absolutely can't. I can't. At least it wasn't a mass shooting. Listen, no one is safe. Just think about it this way. That can be you in the store, getting your little party shoes and your party dress, thinking you going home, and you'll catch a bullet in the back of your head. Because no one cares. And we want to complain about, well, this is what's happening because of this and because of that, and because of men, because of women, because of this. These are your kids. These are our kids, is what I should say. These are our kids. These are our neighbors. These are our students. These are our nephews, our nieces, our cousins, our brothers, our sisters. Somebody says Lenox Mall. I'm telling you what's about to come. I'm telling you what's about to come. Lenox Mall and ATL had to put up metal detectors because of the crime. It used to be an upscale mall. Metal detectors. Let's see how well that goes off. It's not a game out here. I'm trying to tell you what's about to go down. Let me go ahead and finish with the last story, and I'm gonna tell y'all what my thoughts are. The last story is out of New York City, where the girls are pretty, right? That's what they say about New York City. An MTA worker shot and critically injured a man who threatened to assault him and his co-worker inside a Brooklyn subway station. BK, stand up. The shooting unfolded inside the Union Street R station at the border of Gowanus and Park Slope just after 9 p.m. amid a dispute between two MTA workers and a 39-year-old strap hanger. Yeah, I know the 39-year-old was a brother, right? I'm just saying. The uniformed staffers, a revenue electronic maintainer, and an armed transit revenue collector were waiting for a southbound R train when an irate man started shouting at them and threatened to beat them up. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, it stopped. Threatened to beat them up. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. NYPD chief of transit said at a press conference near the scene. When the train arrived, the MTA employees got on with the crazed man following behind. He continued to lob threats at them, the revenue electronic maintainer who repairs the MetroCard vending machines, while the revenue collector attempted to calm him down. The workers exited the train at the next station, Union Street, hoping to end the confrontation. Y'all hear that right now? Isn't this what we tell people to do? We say, if you can, try to avoid anything, right? Just get off the train, wait till the next train comes. Just, it's for your safety. Try to avoid people. That's what we tell people to do, right? So he got off the train and they said to try to end the confrontation, But the strap hanger, the 39-year-old male, followed them onto the platform and up the mezzanine level, up to the mezzanine level. He allegedly came at the pair, prompting the revenue collector, who provides security while the MetroCard machines that store the cash are open, to pull out his gun. The armed MTA worker pulled out his firearm while repeatedly giving verbal commands for the male to back up. The male failed to comply and threatened to forcibly remove the firearm from the MTA employee. Do y'all hear the nonsense out here? Do y'all hear the nonsense? People ain't right, y'all. I'm just trying to tell you. A gun is pulled out on this 39-year-old crazed man and tells him to back up. He tells old boy, I'm going to take the gun from you. Who does that? Stop watching these movies. Stop watching these movies. Play stupid games. You win stupid prizes. Stop watching these movies. Well, here's what happened. The MTA worker wasn't playing games with that man. He was not playing games with that man. He fired one shot, one round, and he hit the man in the chest. And that man is lucky that he was rushed to the hospital, a nearby hospital in Brooklyn. He's lucky he's in critical condition right now, right? He's lucky he even is breathing. He's lucky. Because MTA workers typically don't fire their gun. Typically, this is not what happens. I don't know why the guy was angry. I don't know why the guy decided to get off of the train and follow them onto. I don't know what had this man so angry that he couldn't calm himself down and he still wanted to talk slick out of his mouth. I don't know why he thought he was Hulk. I don't know why he thought he was Batman and he was going to take a gun out of somebody's hand. What is going on in people's heads? What is going on? You do stupid things, you're going to get stupid results. Period. One round in the chest. He's lucky that that guy was restrained and only gave him one round to the chest. So what's going to happen, y'all? I'm giving y'all these different stories, 4 different stories. This is a Shooter Saturday, just in case you all don't know. Maybe there's some new people here listening to me today. But on Saturdays, if I come live on Saturdays, it is Shooter Saturdays. We're talking about shootings because I want y'all to see something. This is not a game. Now, remember, let's go back to 1994. And this is my thoughts and my opinion, right? This is what I'm starting to see. But let's go back to 1994. In 1994, well, even before 1994 hit, but we already know the 1994 crime bill was signed into law. We already know that. But we know before that crime bill happened, things were kind of crazy, right? It was lawlessness then too, right? There's always lawlessness in America. America has never been a land of law, right? Because America is born with violating laws. I mean, America's ridiculous, right? We already know that. I love America, but America is doing some real crazy things right now. But anyway, it was the Wild Wild West then too. It was out of control in the late 80s and or I could just say the 80s. Forget the late 80s. The 80s, the 90s was out of control, baby. And some people got around the table. Some people that identify as Democrats. I'm really coughing, y'all. Drink some water. Well, I say the word Democrats again. Drink some water. I'm just trying to say some Democrats sat around the table. Now, I'm not telling y'all, listen. I'm not telling y'all what to think. I'm just giving y'all what it is. Some Democrats sat around the table. Bill Clinton was one of them. Joe Biden was another one. And they concocted the 1994 crime bill to 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 try to combat the crime. And some of those laws were very detrimental to our community. Then, like a decade ago, people were complaining, we got to change this. We got to redo this whole system. Totally agree. Totally agree. Just the way they went about doing it wasn't right. Totally agree. We got to do all of this. And then it seems like, not that this happened, but it seems like now they're like, well, we're just not going to arrest anybody. I'm not saying that they're doing that, right? I'm not saying they're doing that, but it feels like that. Like, to make this right, we got to let them all out of jail and we can't arrest anybody anymore. That's what it feels like to me, because it is ridiculous once again. But that was by design. I'm just telling you, that was by design. Anything to have the Black community depend on them again. Oh, we need you to save us. Save us. You got to get tough on these laws. We got to save our communities. Our babies are dying. Our children are dying. They're shooting people up in the malls. They're shooting people up in church. Save us. Save us. Save us. Y'all think they're not going to come up with some new laws for your asses? See, they want y'all to get comfortable. They snatched the law away from y'all, right? They're going to move it out. The police got a bad rep. We're not going to police, anymore. We're not even getting speeding tickets like how we used to give speeding tickets. I don't know how it is in the areas that you're in, but once upon a time, you could see police everywhere. Something strange is happening, baby, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, something strange is happening. I'm just trying to tell y'all. So I'm telling y'all, we gotta look at these kind of things. Something is coming down the pipe, baby. Y'all gotta open up your eyes. Open up your eyes. But nevertheless, you don't see the police presence anymore how you used to. Not that they're not there, but it's sort of like you could be killing somebody, and I'm not saying this is happening. It feels this way. You could be killing somebody, and it feels like the police are just doing this. Um, Meet me at Duncan. Meet me at Duncan. Are you going to respond to that? To what? To that? I don't see nothing. Meet me at Duncan. All right, boss. I'm following your lead. Meet you at Duncan. That's what I feel like is happening right now. That's not going to go on for too long. Trust me. Because they're going to get y'all community so wound up and so afraid. I mean, the lawlessness is out of control, man. Babies getting killed, grandpas are getting killed, 19-year-olds are killing, 12-year-olds are killing shit. 5-year-olds are about to start killing. I mean, I'm telling you, they're going to get y'all so afraid and worked up, and they're going to dangle that little carrot in front of your face, and the only thing you're going to read is, we're going to make your community safe. That's the only thing you're going to read, because some people don't like to read things. You know how they say you want to hide something from, y'all know what it says in our community. You want to hide something from, I ain't going to say the rest of it because I ain't going to embarrass us out in public, right? But y'all know in my community, you know what they say. You want to hide something from, you know who, you're going to put it where. Y'all already know in our community. I'm just trying to tell y'all. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's going to say, just read this line right here and sign right here. And we're going to read that just one line. We're going to make y'all safe and give y'all some money. Right? Y'all think I'm lying. Y'all see what's happening in California? Y'all see what's happening in California? Now, if you're a pregnant Black woman, you're going to get, I think it's $1,000 a month, $1,200 a month, something like that, to deal with the racial disparity in health and childbirth. And so now I don't understand how that's going to help them to deal with it. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I just don't understand how that's going to help. They just tell y'all anything. We're going to make you all safe and give you some money. Sign right here. Meanwhile, it's going to be 900 pages with a whole bunch of craziness is going to be there. No, they ain't going to read the craziness. And we're going to be right back where we were. And 1994. We're gonna be right back with, I promise y'all. I promise y'all. Y'all gonna listen. Y'all gonna say, I think I heard this on one of Dr. Shonna lives. You're gonna say that. Right? Somebody said, see, I'm telling you, right? I can't make this stuff up. $1,200 to stay home for 12 months. They're going to give pregnant Black women $1,200 a month. A month to stay home. And they cloaked it all pretty in the disparities. Now, we know there's disparities. We know that more Black babies die. We know that. We know that the research is there. We know that. But baby, y'all see what's happening here? And we just like, oh, more money and safe community. We'll take it. We'll take it. Half your ass is gonna be locked up and dead. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell y'all. And we like, Biden. Biden about to lock your asses up again, baby. Woo! It's getting real. It's getting real out here. I'm telling you, it's getting real. I'm so sick and tired of seeing these news stories. And you know how media works, right? Media got to put it out there. We got to create hysteria. And this stuff is really going down. It's not like they're making up the stories, right? There was a shooting in the mall, right? A girl did get killed in her driveway, right? There was a woman who held a woman at gunpoint in Walmart, right? There was another story. You remember the other story like 9 months ago? I mean, it was caught on camera where that guy gets out the car and there's a guy waiting. I don't know if he's waiting on an Uber, waiting on a cab, waiting on a bus. I don't remember what he was waiting on, but the shooter got out the one car, walked behind him, shot him in his head, and got back in the car. I mean, right there on camera, the street camera. It is getting crazy. No one is safe in these streets. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell y'all. Woo, baby. Baby. Somebody said, that's only $14,400. Where are you living on that? In California at that. Where it is, it ain't going to be safe at all. In California at that. I'm trying to tell y'all. Better read them fine prints. That's what's going to happen, y'all. That was Shooter Saturday. That's all I have for y'all today. Right? Somebody said people be running people over too and keep going. Oh, it is bad out in these streets now. It is bad out in these streets. It's bad. Something is coming down the pipe. See, I think they're letting the lawlessness run rampant on purpose because they're right. They're working right now. It's 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in New Jersey, right? It may be 9 o'clock somewhere else, but I'll tell you one thing. It could be 1 o'clock in the morning. They working on that law. They working to get that sucker in place before you know it, baby. And it's going to be like a spade in the pocket. They want to see how y'all going to vote. They want to see how y'all going to move. Are y'all still going to be loyal to them? Are you going to be loyal? Because they holding on to that. They want to see how you're going to vote. Right? And once they know how you're going to vote, baby, if you ain't voting for them, baby, you know what they're going to do? They're going to get the spade out their pocket and they're going to dangle that carrot. We're going to give you $1,200 a month and we're going to keep you safe. Don't read anything else. That's pretty much what this bill said. We're going to sign our name. We're going to give them our vote and we're going to be screwed. As always. I love you all. I promise you will do. I love you all. This was Shooter Saturday. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining in on a Saturday. Listen, I know some of y'all celebrate the Baby White Jesus holiday. And that's okay. That's okay. I know some of y'all celebrate the Baby White Jesus holiday, and that's okay. So to those who celebrate the holiday, I want to say Merry Christmas to you. I hope you remain safe on your holiday, right? It was a pleasure speaking to you all. I hope you dispose of your tree as you kill our community and kill an environment. I hope you dispose of your trees safely. I hope your children all remain safe. I hope everyone goes to sleep and wake up. I hope nobody's heart stops beating. We're going to talk about that, right? We're going to talk about that. All these sudden deaths out here, heart stops beating. We're going to talk about that too, but just not tonight. But I hope you all stay safe. For everybody else who does not celebrate the Baby White Jesus holiday, I want to say, listen, we can't sleep. We can't sleep. If you go out there, keep your head on a swivel, go in pairs. Somebody need to watch the door while you checking out. You know what I'm saying? Just if you see a crowded group of people and they don't look right, I don't care what color they are. If it's people are crazy in all types of colors. If you see somebody who ain't looking right, you don't need to get them shoes. You don't need that bag. You don't need that dress. You don't need to return that item. You just need to get your behind up out of the store and go home. Even if nothing happens, at least you was cautious. You had precaution. That's all I'm saying to you all. I love you all. Have a blessed night, and I'll see you guys with the next video. Hopefully, it won't be on a Saturday. Hope we can do mental health Fridays or what the F Wednesdays. I'll speak to you all soon. Have a great night.